Hi everyone, so my name is Natasha Salifianji Kaoma and I will be taking you through the use of a menstrual cup. So this is a menstrual cup and I had posted a post yesterday about how to use a menstrual cup and what it is, but I thought it would be best to send a video because a lot of people had questions. So a menstrual cup is a feminine hygiene product that is used to not really store, but it is used to keep menstrual blood until it is removed and emptied. So I will take you through how to use the menstrual cup, how to remove it, the frequently asked questions, the benefits, the disadvantages, and I'll also show you other menstrual hygiene products at the end of the video. So this is a menstrual cup. This is it's made in China, but it is locally distributed, and this is the box. These cups are going at $150. You can contact me to get one of these cups. So first and foremost, you need to wash this cup. You need to put it in boiling water for 3 minutes, and then from there you can insert it. So you need to wash it before and after use. And other thing that I need to mention is that you need to wash your hands before you touch the cup every single time. So the cup is inserted, so you need to fold it like this. For insertion, you need to wash your hands, boil the cup for 3 minutes, then you can get it, fold it in half again like this, and then insert it. So to insert it, you need to be either seated, squatting, or you can stand and put your leg on a chair. There's a chair this side, that's why I'm looking this side. But you can put a leg on a chair, one of your legs on the chair, so that you can insert it. So you need to relax. I know it seems a bit scary, but you need to relax, then insert it. So as you insert it, you can see here that you keep pushing it in, and as you push it, it will begin to open slightly until voila, it opens. So when it's open like that, you twist it once. So the twisting is mostly to just secure it in place so that it can hold and the vaginal muscles can wrap themselves, contract around it so that it doesn't move or it doesn't leak. Yeah, so you can have the cup on for 6 to 12 hours depending on your flow. Just to give you an idea so that you can relate, think of it like this. The smallest tampon is 9 mils. The medium-sized tampon is 12 mils. The largest tampon is 15 mils, and this houses 15 mils. So you change it as frequently as you change your tampons. Yeah. So removal of the cup. The cup will be in like this. So you put your hands into your vagina. You find the tip, go a little bit higher. Press this part. This will just give you a grip, and then you pull it out slowly, trying to keep it as upright as possible so that it doesn't spill. And then you wash, you discard the contents into the toilet bowl and rinse it and put it back in the same way that we said. So it's pretty easy if you ask me. And now I'll take you to the frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions is leakage. No, it's going to leak. It's not going to leak. That's the biggest question that people have. Will it leak? And my answer to that is no, it will not leak. It will not leak unless it has been placed too high. It will leak if it's been placed just on top of the cervix. It's supposed to be slightly below so that it can hold the contents in. But then if you place it just on top of the cervix, it will not be able to encompass the entire cervix, and so some will leak below that. Secondly, it will leak if you have poor muscle tone. Most of the women with poor muscle tone are those that have had several children. But one way that you can improve your muscle tone is if you try the Kegel exercises. These ones will help improve your muscle tone, and they will be able to hold it up. Another thing is that if you do leak, if it is in any other position except upright, if it's been incorrectly placed, meaning it will be like this, and think of it, you have a cup, content in it, and it's like this, so it's going to spill. So it needs to be upright like this at 90 degrees inside your vagina. Another question that people ask is, what if I have an odor? And most of the times, odor has to do with bacteria on your skin. And so women need to shave as frequently as possible, and also women need to keep themselves clean so that they prevent any smell. And the odor has nothing to do with the menstrual cup per se. Usually if you have an odor, you have it regardless of what other product you use. So you need to keep yourself clean. Another frequently asked question is the size. How will I know the size? So there are two sizes. This is a large, I also have a small size. The sizes mostly differ with the mils that they can hold. This one holds more than 15 mils. The 15 mil mark is here, so it can hold slightly more. This one is up to 12 mils. So it has a 7.5 mil mark and a 12, and it has a 15 mil mark, but it will be able to hold less. Also, the smaller one is smaller in size and more malleable, like it's more flexible than the large one. Yeah. Another question that people ask is, will I be able to urinate? Will I be able to have bowel movements? Will I be able to have birth? Is this a birth control? So I'll tell you this, that you will be able to have bowel movements with this one, because the vagina and the rectum are different places. You'll also be able to urinate because the urethra and the vagina are in different places. So even if you have the cup on, it's not disrupting any other flow. Another thing that people have asked is this a birth control method? No, it is not. This cup cannot be used for birth control because this is not like the diaphragm. The diaphragm covers the entire cervix. This one just, it's in the vagina, more like holding blood. So it will not offer any protection in terms of child control, birth control rather. And I must mention that it is important to be cautious when using this and you have an IUD, like what people call a loop. It will be very important for you to consult your gynecologist before you can use a cup if you have a loop inserted, because you might just dislodge the loop. Another thing is that, can you have sex with this cup on? Yes, I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, some people have sex whilst they're on their menses, and I must mention that the cup cannot be worn while having sex. No, it can't. So you have to take it out before you have sex and put it back in if you're going to have sex while you're menstruating. Another thing that people ask is the lifespan of the cup. The cup has a lifespan depending on the size. Like this particular brand, it's being distributed by Exquisite Products. This one is made to last 15 years. Some are made to last 5 years, some are made to last longer, but this one is made to last 15 years. Also, some women ask, what if I have a low cervix? Yes, some women do have a low cervix and they might feel uncomfortable. And if you don't know whether you have a low cervix or not, you'll see that as you put the cup, you will feel like very uncomfortable, or you will feel some kind of obstruction as you put it in. And so yes, you might have difficulties. You might need to get a smaller size if you have a low cervix. Another thing that people ask is, what material is this made of? Isn't this harmful? No, it's not. This is made of medical silicone, and these ones come in various sizes and shapes and colors, but this is made of medical silicone, the same material that is used to make pacifiers and baby materials, baby stuff. And so this is hypoallergenic, meaning that it's very less likely going to cause allergies. But if you are allergic, which is like in the less than 1% of the population, then you might not use it, but it is not going to cause you any harm. Someone also asked me that, what if it causes problems inside the vagina, like it obstructs the walls because this cup is so big? Trust me, the vagina and the female reproductive system is more like elastic, because imagine a whole baby can fit inside you. So think of this. This is so small. Another thing that people ask is, what if it gets stuck or it gets lost? No, that's not going to happen, because the vagina is like a hollow tube. It has an inlet and an outlet, and there's only one way. It's not like when it goes in, it's going to get stuck or it's going to get lost and your next it will be in your stomach or anything like that. No, that's not going to happen. And another thing that people ask is, what is the advantage? There are many advantages to using this menstrual cup. One, the advantage is that it is cheaper. This cup is going for 150 kwacha, which is $15 right now. And this is way cheaper than buying pads, because pads cost about $1.5 every month. Some women use more than one packet of pads every month. So that's 15 kwacha, 30 kwacha. Let's say you use 2 packets every month. So that's 30 kwacha every month. By the end of the year, you would have used 360 kwacha, and this costs you 150. And you use this for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So think about how much economic that is. This is also environmentally friendly, because you use this particular cup all the time. and you use those pads that you dispose of every time, and so those things are not biodegradable, and so they will pollute the environment in the long run. Another thing is that with this cup, it might reduce on your cramps. It might also reduce on your duration of menstruation. Yeah. Another thing that the cup is good for is that you might be able to change less frequently, because people change their pads often because they feel icky and because they feel damp and things like that. So, or they start becoming moist because you're sweating and stuff, but nothing of that is going to happen when you're using the cup. Yeah. The disadvantages of using the cup. The disadvantage, mostly, it's just the hassle of having to put your hands in and remove it. But then if you use tampons, that's practically the same thing. So this is the same thing as using tampons, so that disadvantage doesn't count. And also, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, not everyone, I think that I would not recommend this cup for adolescents or very, very young people, teenagers, because this cup is quite big, and there are different types of hymen perforation. There are different types of hymens, but this is bigger than a tampon, and it might break the hymen, or it might cause a little bit of problems. Tampons are smaller, so they might not affect the hymen, but I think the cup would. I think so. So don't hold me against it. Don't say Natasha said this, but I think that this would not be ideal for a young person. And also just the horror of having to remove it and put it in all the time. So those are most of the questions that people asked about menstrual cups. I hope that this has been comprehensive. And I'll use this time also to explain something else, like how to use a tampon. I have a tampon somewhere. Just hold on. Okay, so I have a tampon. Some boys in my class ask me, what does a tampon look like? So this is a small tampon. This is inserted into the vagina, and the tampons are a little bit more straightforward because you can see that there's a string here. So the string remains outside, the tampon is inserted, and even though it looks small like this, it's able to absorb about 9 ml of fluid. So I'll try and dip this tampon in some water so that you can see how much it can expand. So you will see that, let me just open one. This is a tampon that hasn't been used, and this is a tampon that has been used. You can see how different they are. So this is how big a tampon can become while you're using it, and so it absorbs fluid and then you can take it out. So a tampon can be used by a young person because it's really small, but the cup might come with some difficulties. I'll also show you some reusable pads that I have with me. I just had these made, and these reusable pads can be washed, and this is the shield, and this is a liner. So you just fold this liner into 2 parts, and then you put it in the shield. So with the shield and liner mechanism, you can be able to alter how thick your pad can be, because like this one, this is 2 shields. This one has 1 shield and it's thinner, so this can be used for light days, and this thicker one can be used for heavy days. So that's basically it about menstrual cups, and I've talked a little bit about reusable pads, but I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I know, and also to answer most of the questions. I hope this does that. Thank you.